Today, I want to address a common question. How do you learn to work on cars? The easy answer, just go out and start tinkering on your own car. The detailed answer is more complicated and involves a combination of book knowledge and practical knowledge. I actually have very limited formal education, a single year of automotive technology in high school. To be even more honest, I did not take that class seriously as a teenager. The problem was me, not the class. That changed once I went to college and had my own car. Over time, I just learned little by little, starting with the simple maintenance, such as replacing a light bulb. I learned this after a dealership charged $70 to replace a $5 bulb, which would fail state inspection. We are here for two reasons. First, as already mentioned, to save money, because you either do it yourself or pay someone else to do it. The second is the joy of learning and hands-on activities. Ideally, you learn on a cheap beater car. Older vehicles were simpler and in some ways more forgiving compared to complex electrical systems found on brand new cars today. But almost every old car needs some type of work. That's why they're cheap. Do some research, as some cars are just known to be easier to work on. For example, this Toyota Camry has a non-interference engine. So if you want to try changing the timing belt, you have some more leeway if something goes wrong. Otherwise, most people don't have specialized machines at home to properly repair a damaged valve train. For casual knowledge, the internet is your friend, meaning YouTube, Reddit, and forums for your specific car. However, the internet is also your enemy because there's a lot of bad information out there. Heck, some actual auto technicians may watch these videos and think some of my practices are bad as well. If you want to get serious, you simply have to know how major car systems work. This is one of my weaknesses as well. So recently I picked up this book called Modern Automotive Technology by James Duffy. This text is actually used in classrooms but is available secondhand on eBay for low prices. Don't know the difference between a seal and gasket? This book will teach you. Pros: it's easy to read when broken down. Even with over 1,000 pages and 80-something chapters, most are relatively short. If you plan to flip around randomly, it's perfect. Want to know more about cooling systems? Just skip to that section and get to work. The visual aids are sufficient, and most important topics are explained in a way the average people will understand. Pretty much everything I heard of, but did not know details of before, is covered in this book. Now, the cons. Due to the sheer volume of information, there are numerous typos, grammatical errors, and obvious editorial oversights. Some of the words chosen for key technical terms will leave you scratching your head. If you read the entire text in order from beginning to end, you will also see a lot of information repetition and redundancy. Again, if you are jumping around, this may not be a problem. Additional thoughts. There are a lot of repair and troubleshooting mixed in with the text, which makes this book more suited to aspiring ASE certified technicians. I feel like they should consider separating repair and troubleshooting into a separate textbook. Very few people care about servicing the internals of an alternator. Even most shops will replace the entire part since it's more cost and time effective. This 8th edition was released in 2014. The more recent editions have additional information on hybrid and electric vehicles, as well as modern convenience and driver assist safety systems. If you don't care about all that, you can definitely get away with older editions. The basic workings of a car has not changed for decades. The book is heavy on your lap, and I found the glossy pages hard to read under room lighting. They have an online version, which is the latest 10th edition, released in 2022. It comes as a 1-year subscription and includes supplementary videos and exercises to reinforce your learning. I personally found those useful. Just to prove that this video is not sponsored in any way, below is a link to an older scanned copy of the textbook that someone else uploaded. You didn't see or hear anything from me. Finally, consider buying a factory service manual. These are vehicle year and model specific. Many modern manuals are electronic, and unfortunately some are now paid subscriptions. That makes more sense for actual technicians than DIY folks. This is separated into 2 volumes. The first has all the diagnostic procedures, so you don't go around wasting time replacing unnecessary parts. The costs add up fast. The second has detailed repair procedures and diagrams. the way Toyota wanted technicians to repair the car. Every car has its quirks, and not every YouTube video will cover it. The information and graphics can sometimes be found on forums, but after 20 years, many of those images are removed. Keep in mind that some expensive specialty tools used in dealerships do not make sense for average homeowners to buy. This is where cross-referencing YouTube videos of the same repair can help. I hope this helps someone today. Remember, work within your skill set. Babies learn to stand and walk before running. You can't jump right into engine short block repair without knowing anything about torque specs, machining, clearance, or tolerances. The engine would just seize or blow up. If you have any constructive advice for beginners, please leave it down in the comments below. Have a great day and see you all next time.